Brother Sekou, Odinga, Brother Dhoruba, Ben, Wahad, Panther 21.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I bear witness that there is no God but God. He alone deserves the worship. And I bear witness that Muhammad ibn Abdullah was his last servant, prophet, slave. My name is Sekou Abdullah Odinga. I'm a former political prisoner, brother of Afeni Shakur. I probably was one of the first ones that met her when she first came on the set in '67, a little before the Panther party. You know, her first husband, Labumba Shakur, and I were best friends at the time. So my first wife and her and Lumumba and I spent many, many, many nights together. Many days together, many hours together, just talking about the world, the struggle, how we were going to make this a better world. She was a very young, dynamic, beautiful, and curious sister. She asked a lot of questions, you know, she always wanted to know, and she had no problem saying why. You know, she'll ask you why you say that, why you believe this, why you think that. She always challenged us. She challenged the brothers to think, to be certain of what they were saying, to be fair about what they were saying, and never look down on the sisters. That was something that she always did for us, you know. It made brothers be real men around her, you know, so. I haven't seen Afeni Shakur in years, many years. I've recently come home from prison myself after doing 33 years. So Afeni and I hadn't had a chance to reconnect. So most of my memories of her is of times going by, long times ago, even though we stayed in touch off and on during them years. Afeni was one of my first female heroes. I named my daughter after Afeni. I think that letter that she just read about, and when she mentioned Jamala and little Afeni, I think the little Afeni she was talking about was my daughter, you know. I'm not sure, because Afeni had a lot of people who wanted to be like her, so it might have been another one. But back then, I think my Afeni was the first Afeni, after Afeni Shakur, you know. I say all that just to say that Afeni was loved. Afeni was loved by many people. She inspired many people. We used to always say, be like Afeni when we were young, you know. Now she changed a little bit. She, like all of us, was human. She had her faults like everybody else had theirs. But we think of her and remember only the best of her today. At least I do. That's how I'm gonna think of her. I'm gonna remember how she loved, how she smiled, how she made you feel that she thought you were special, that you mattered to her, you know. So I love Afeni. I remember Afeni. I'll never forget Afeni. And I will always encourage young women to aspire to do the best that Afeni did. Don't look for the worst, because you can find the worst in any of us. Look for the best, and if you look for the best in Afeni, you'll find some greatness there. You'll find a whole lot of love, and you can't go wrong. That's all I have to say today. I didn't really have anything prepared. I just wanted to say I love Afeni.
I did want to say this real quick. You know, it's good to have revolutionary elected officials, because my wife, who is a city council member, had to battle with the city council so that we now have a proclamation by the city council honoring Sekou Odinga. Thanks to the city.
Thank you, sisters. Thank you so very much.
All right, we're moving along. Brother Dhoruba is going to speak. We know we're trying to finish at 7, but we have some powerful, we have the young people, but Sister Sonia Sanchez is in the house. Sister Kathleen Cleaver's in the house. And of course, we have to hear from the people's pastor, Reverend Dr. Herbert Daughtry. So please, all right, we're asking everybody to keep it tight, but don't go away, because this is a powerful celebration. Brother Dhoruba bin Wahad.
First of all, I want to give my praise to Allah. There is no God but Allah. I'm a servant of Allah. I thank Allah for giving me life, for giving me strength. And most of all, I thank Allah for giving me people like you as comrades, as brothers and sisters who have fought beside us, who have died for our cause, and who stand today in strength and in solidarity. I see my comrade Chango. I see my sisters Kathleen. I see the people's attorneys. And I'm overwhelmed because we are the last of the loud. I say again, we are the last of the loud. We got in crackers' faces. We told them what our rights were. We demanded respect. But most of all, we were the last of the loud. And it was in the struggle that we gained our identity. We are here for our comrade in a memorial. We remember Afeni Shakur. But we know also that Afeni Shakur was a product of our tradition. She was a product of our struggle, of our blood, of our tears, of our pain. We are last of the loud. We stand on the shoulders of those who went before us, who suffered for us, who died for us, and who fought for us. So when we have a memorial, it's not just a celebration of who passed. It's a celebration of this generation that's coming as well. Because we are the last of the loud, but they are the first of the bold of a new generation. And I want to say here, on behalf of my comrade Afeni, that her spirit resides in those young people that she nurtured, that she touched. And they will take her to the next step, to the next level. You know, we had a sister pass just this morning, just yesterday morning, Iya Fulani. A strong sister in the tradition of Afeni Shakur, in the tradition of Harriet Tubman, in the tradition of our revolutionary black women who have stood at the forefront of our struggle since the days of slavery, since the bullwhip days. So I want to say that being allowed to give a tribute to my comrade Afeni, who stood in the courtroom and nurtured all of our spirits every day with that effervescent smile. She's not gone, she's not forgotten. She lives every time we mention her name. So I just want to say here, I honor my sister, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be here. I never thought I would live this long, and there's an upside to that and there's a downside to that. I'm not going to talk about the downside. The upside is that I get to see my comrades again. And I get to remember those times when we stood against the power of the state and we prevailed. And we won. And when I see Jamal's children, I remember when Jamal Jr. was a baby coming into MCC with his mama Joyce. I remember when they were children, when Jamal and all of us thought that we would never get this far and have the children that we have and the blessings that we have. I want to say in closing that there is no God but Allah. The law will protect us as long as we stand for truth and justice, even if it's against our own soul. So I want to again thank the Reverend Daughtry, who has opened up these doors time and time again for us. Who've allowed us to come together in this sanctuary and celebrate and moan over our loss and our gains. The Reverend Daughtry, there's not too many left like him. There's not too many left like Brother Jamal, who brought all this together, who was able to reach out on a moment's notice and bring us all here to celebrate our comrade, our sister, our mother, Afeni Shakur. So I just want to say thank you again. And I'm going from one memorial to another, but that's because Allah has allowed us to come this far and fight this fight. And it ain't over yet. It's not over, and it won't be over until we're free, until we're liberated, until those enemies of the sun are driven down and subjugated. So Afeni, now that you're with the ancestors, now that you can embrace our ancestors, hear our call and hear our plea. We will be free in this place, in this time, in this age. And Allah will guide us and protect us in that struggle. So again, I want to thank everyone here for coming out for our sister. And remember, to those of us who went through this, we are the last of the loud, but we got children. And our children is going to have children. And it ain't over until it's over. Power to the people.
Brother Sekou Odinga, Brother Dhoruba bin Wahad. Come on, family. May I have the sisters, the dynamic women of the Black Panther Party? Are you here? Are you upstairs? Sister Malika, who else is coming up to represent?